What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that all of you guys are enjoying your weekend. So, rest in peace to OJ Simpson. He is one of the most infamous, high profile Americans in our history, in our nation's history. He passed away at 76 years old from his battle with prostate cancer. His family wrote on Twitter on April 10th, our father, Artheniel James Simpson, succumbed to his battle with cancer. He was surrounded by his children and his grandchildren. During this time of transition, his family asked that you please respect their wishes for privacy and grace, the Simpson family. And here we have the Heisman Trophy, their trust. They are mourning the passing of the 1968 Heisman Trophy winner, OJ Simpson. We extend our sympathy to his family. Now, I will say this, right? Whether you loved him or hated him, the OJ Simpson trial was deemed the trial of the century, okay? And I remember I was a kid when it came out. And I also remember that, this was right after the Rodney King incident where, the LAPD were caught on camera just beating him senselessly and they were acquitted. So when the OJ Simpson trial came, racial tensions were already high in the country. And as a kid, I didn't, truly understand looking back on it now. Hindsight, of course, is always 2020, and looking through everything with an adult lens, it became a lot clearer, right? To be honest, I have to be honest with you guys. I went to a majority Black school, and when the verdict came out, because of course all the teachers were watching, most of the teachers that we had were white and most of the students were Black. Um, we were doing the Soul Train line down the hall when the not guilty verdict came out. Okay, I'm not saying it was right or wrong. I'm saying we were kids and we were celebrating what we had heard, at least for me and my perspective, right? Me and my friends, we heard our grandparents, especially because my grandparents came from the Jim Crow South, they moved up north. They were, you know, I mean, it was just like nonstop 24 hours a day coverage, news coverage. It interrupted the the TV program like TGIF, right, was a really big thing when I was a kid, programming. And the OJ Simpson trial, I mean, it just knocked out everything. It knocked out sitcoms, it knocked out sports, you name it. The whole country was glued to, this one trial. And it's because it encompassed everything, in my opinion, that Americans love and are really known for. Because our greatest export, aside from like the military, because we have the biggest military in the world, but we're most known for Hollywood celebrity, and it had all of that, right? OJ Simpson was a huge star. He was a Hollywood star before he became this infamous guy known for this atrocious, crime against Nicole Brown and Ron. Anyway, um, but yeah, I just remember, that not guilty plea was a huge turning point in American history. And yeah, I mean, you know, we have Caitlyn Jenner, right, who was really close with OJ back when he was an Olympic athlete under the name Bruce Jenner. But I mean, the Kardashians, a lot of people were speculating that OJ Simpson was Khloe's father. He said that, they both vehemently denied that it was true. But the fact that, Rob Kardashian was a lawyer, and now we have Caitlyn Jenner saying on Twitter, good riddance is what she wrote. And people were just dragging her for Phil, right? Because she essentially, did the same thing that he was acquitted of, right? Unaliving somebody, taking someone's life. She did it with vehicular, um, you know, her car. He just did it with allegedly, right? But he was acquitted um, with the weapon, with the blade. But anyway, so OJ, he was a problematic person. You guys remember the song that Jay-Z made where he's like, I'm not black, I'm OJ. And Jay-Z has that caricature roll his eyes and he's like, okay. That was a huge thing, that he would always kind of play down or dismiss his blackness. And looking back on that, even now today, because some people, I went to college with a guy that was similar, that had a similar framework and viewpoint. He's like, I'm not black, I'm an American. I think Raven Simone says that as well. I feel like, you know, they're essentially saying that they want to be seen as a human being. But the truth is, we all want that, right? I feel like, just because someone is proud of their culture doesn't mean that they don't want to be seen as a human, right? We all want that. We all want a life full of love and freedom and liberty and all of those things, right? Anyway, I don't want to go too much on a tangent. I want to stay here with OJ Simpson, but he um, he was open about his cancer diagnosis in 2023, and he posted quite frequently on social media. He said that he had beaten the cancer, but it came back, and he said the last video that he posted of himself was he was talking about the Super Bowl, where he said that he was rooting for his former team, the San Francisco 49ers, and he seemed to be in good spirits then. He was seated in the clip. He was talking from his backyard. Even before football, he was a bona fide A-lister in Hollywood, acting in tons of movies and TV shows, and he was famously serving as the face and the pitchman for Hertz. But all of that goodwill left in the 1990s when he was accused of the heinous crimes of unaliving his wife, Nicole, and Ron in 1994. And then aftermath, that was dubbed the trial of the century, where he was prosecuted on national TV. And even before he was apprehended by police for questioning, OJ led the cops on a low speed chase in his Ford Bronco on the LA freeways, a moment that was nationally televised. One of the most dramatic shared experiences in modern American history. You guys, this Bronco chase, I'm telling you, you had to be there. Like I said, I was a little kid, but I just remember my mom and my grandparents and my aunties, my uncles, like they were glued into the TV what it seemed like 24/7, right? This Bronco chase, in my opinion, it felt like it lasted forever. But once he was caught, the case started to form with him being the prime suspect. And prosecutors eventually charged him, alleging that OJ carried out these horrific unalivings of Nicole and Ron at her Brentwood home on June 12, 1994. Now, here's the thing, right? Because Johnny Cochran, his attorney, was an amazing defense attorney, okay? He had him try on gloves that, didn't fit. And, Cochran's tagline was, if they don't fit, you must acquit, okay? Um, but it was the fundamental element that Cochran latched onto during the trial was the LAPD detective Mark Furman. He was so racist. And this is what kills me because racist people, I'm telling you, they will like throw away their entire careers, their livelihoods, their lives in order to be racist. He made racist remarks in the past, and um, the defense team found that he planted evidence. And so that was essentially what a lot of people, myself included, feel like that's how OJ was found not guilty, right? This man, they asked him all these questions about, him saying these, racist remarks, the N word, planting evidence, and he pled the fifth the entire time. So if anyone, is to blame for allegedly for OJ getting off, it was Mark Furman and his racism that was just like seeping through his pores. It was ridiculous. Um, but yeah, Johnny Cochran was a master at, him being a criminal defense attorney. But later on, OJ was sued in civil court by Nicole Brown's family. And I don't believe that he paid. I believe he passed away even like owing them millions still. But he was arrested and put in jail for essentially trying to like steal back his own memorabilia. Um, it was, I think, like a low level crime, but they wanted restitution. They wanted him behind bars. They were going to find anything to charge him with essentially. But um, he's not suffering with cancer anymore. My heart and my prayers, my thoughts go out to his children. So rest in peace, OJ Simpson. He was definitely an infamous character in American history, a person. Um, but I wish his family well. So, you guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, Aces. Bye.